Hello and welcome everybody to another edition of the Buy Around. Oh my goodness me. Joined by Luke, Keary, Charlie White. Did anybody check the date yesterday?
April Fools?
Yes.
Feb 8, the biggest story in the game, and it's only the second month of the year.
Kez, what's going on?
Unbelievable.
We were trying to draw comparisons off air about maybe Beckham from Man United to Real Madrid. But at the end of the day, look, Beckham was good, but he wasn't in that. he was going to some world class midfield. He would have been the fourth best midfielder at Real Madrid.
Comparing rugby league, getting in dangerous territory. Honestly, I'm still trying to make sense of it. There's a lot, it's unbelievable. Even to no one to know. When's the last time that's happened?
Sol Campbell, he left Tottenham to go to Arsenal, one of the biggest transfers ever. I mean, look, I appreciate we're a rugby league show, and it is only rugby league, NRL, but it doesn't feel real.
No, it's actually crazy to think
it doesn't feel
they've just won
like
the comp as well. They've just won the comp. It's the best front rower in the game. And he's left Brisbane. Brisbane don't really lose players anyway. When did Brisbane lose players they want to?
Unless they want to.
Exactly.
Look, Charlie, I was at kids soccer grading yesterday. Get a missed call from you. Sunday. Yeah, it's not massively out of character. Message about Haas. And I look at him like, I don't know. And you're like, no, South and Brisbane have put out statements. Incredible. Just quickly, before we dive into the Payne Haas issue, please like and subscribe. Let us know your thoughts on how and why Payne Haas is leaving to join South Sydney on a 3-year deal. But also, we are starting a Patreon very, very soon. So basically, a cup of coffee a week or a month? And
$2 a week it's going to be.
2 extra shows. So really excited to bring that to you once the season kicks off.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you're right. 2 extra shows. One will be like sort of a mailbag style show. Will drop on a Monday, and then something will drop on Friday each week.
You sound really excited about this. If I was listening to this show, Charlie, I would be definitely signing up to Patreon to get that other show. It's going to be an all sports show, so we'll be looking at things like the Super Bowl, the Aussie Open, the recent...
Super Bowl. I can't stand the Super Bowl. To be honest, the fanfare round today has been doing my head in. Every year, everyone watches the Super Bowl. Who's doing halftime?
We can talk about that on the Patreon episode about, you take the day off. And it's like... It's a game of American football.
Too long, NFL, too long.
What do you think of the halftime show? We might dive into some issues like the Winter Olympics, controversy around the male athletes injecting their penises with acid to make them grow for aerodynamic, a performance enhancer. We'll be tackling the serious issues of world sport like that.
Yeah, what's the science of that? Is it like creating a fin? Is it? It's like
it's aerodynamics.
Yeah. So is it making it harder? Is that what we're saying?
No. Well, obviously, that goes into the event flaccid.
Okay, and then gets hard post acid.
No. The acid injects it to give it a.
I'll be tuning in.
We're going to dive into all these issues on that show, but we'll get into Payne Haas. I mean,
before we do get into Payne Haas, I think I was sent a message, and it's a message of you signing a vape this morning. Can you confirm or deny that you signed a vape this morning?
I can confirm it. I knew there was something I was going to talk about. And possibly one of the strangest things happened to me today. Was that tug-of-war contest, Dragons fans v Bulldogs fans for Today FM. Basically, the team that won, then they chose one of them or two of them to go over to Las Vegas. Great initiative, by the way. But in that event, people are getting pictures like they normally do, sign a few jerseys. I got asked to sign a vape.
Yeah.
And I said yes. And it was a first time for everything. I mean, yeah. Brilliant, I guess. I don't know. I didn't know what to make of it. I don't know what I'm more shocked about, Payne Haas during the bunnies or somebody asking me to sign a vape. No, but I do know what I'm more shocked about.
What sort of character was the person with the vape?
Obviously quite young.
Quite young, yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I should have just took it, shouldn't I? I'm going to take this and give it to Charlie.
Oh, man, I don't touch vapes. I'm 75 hard at the moment, so I wouldn't touch a vape.
Yeah, we don't need to dive into that because everybody knows it's like leading story on all the major news outlets, front page of the paper, back page of the paper. Charlie White did 2 exercise sessions yesterday.
Got up at 5:30 this morning, trained 5:30
He read
morning.
10 pages of a book. Wow.
It's pretty crazy.
Charlie, you were with one of the journalists that broke the story today.
Yep.
I mean, did he give much insight into to how and why this happened? I mean, I think, Kez, I don't know about you, but I've got more questions than answers.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, like even Keary said it just come like this is unheard of that it's come out of the blue. Usually someone tells someone and there's a murmur or it's happened in the months prior. There has been nothing. And even Keary I think he came out today and said he was as shocked as anyone. He had to fact check it, couldn't check it because everyone hadn't heard it. Like it's and even why, like there's so many questions.
Yeah.
But there's also 10 days of just hold our cool, I reckon.
You reckon?
I reckon.
See, I would have
10
thought
days.
that. The statements from Brisbane seem so definitive. The statements from South seem so definitive. It sounds like Payne Haas is really keen. I'd be shocked if he backflips on that in the next 10 days, especially when you sort of start to hear about what the story's about and like why it's happened. And it feels like it's a story about 2 coaches. You've got, on one hand, you've got Michael Maguire, who everyone knows is a really hard taskmaster, runs a really tight ship, and things haven't got looser just because they've won the premiership. And there is talk that maybe that style is starting to rub some players up the wrong way. They feel like they maybe did enough last year to prove it. They don't need to be treated in such an intense way at all times. And then on the other side of it, you've got Wayne Bennett, the guy who, when he was a young kid, he was in the airport with his dad, driving to the airport to fly to Melbourne to sign for Melbourne. And then Wayne Bennett called him and said, turn around, come back to Red Hill. And he re-signs with the Broncos. Wayne Bennett then debuts Payne Haas as well. So you've got that connection between the two of them there, which is really strong. They've got an incredible relationship. They talk a lot, apparently. And then on the other side, it's Michael Maguire, where there's talk that maybe Payne was starting to get over some of his methods.
Well, let's dive into the getting over the methods. So I guess of previous generations, it'd be hard to argue that Sam Burgess was hard to argue against Sam Burgess being the best forward in the game. Under the same coach, makes a decision to leave, but to go to a different challenge, right? In terms of England rugby union, like with an opportunity with his brothers there to build a potential dynasty at South Sydney, foregoes that maybe because of Michael Maguire's methods, and I get it. I understand how a coach's methods can have a sugar hit and then they can start to wear thin, and it can create doubt within the playing group. But then again, the proof's in the pudding that it delivered Souths and the Broncos a premiership. Like, so I'm a bit torn. Kez, you were with Maguire. You've got
I've
fair
obviously
connection.
been there with him. I've seen both. Yeah, I've seen both sides of it. I came to South as a young kid. I experienced the task he runs. Like, he's tough, and he makes no secret about it. I think it was literally 12 months ago, all these stories coming out about pre-season, the buckets, and they're obviously getting leaked by players, right?
Yeah.
Talking to managers. Man, I still remember having conversations with my manager in 15, 16 going, this is hard, like things are starting to get tough. Funny one with Sam, he actually decided to leave the year before we won. So, and I know probably Sam can talk for himself, but a lot of stuff happened and he was still contracted to South, and probably his only option was to go to another code.
Because he didn't want to play against South. So he felt indebted to
he
the
obviously
football club.
thought his time there was done. Like it was Ben Teo, the same. He's with Madge now. Even funny, Ben had a story in the off-season about when they lost to Manly up there, and it was his idea to kind of take him to the pub, which does sound like him. But this when there is smoke, and I love Madge. He brought me into Origin camp the last few years. He was Origin coach. Yes, he's hard. Yes, there's some crazy stuff, but he really cares about you, and he's proven that it works. But it's hard to look past. Is he the reason? And Payne will be the only one that can say that.
One of the strange things that has happened this off-season, which I'd love to get your guys' perspective if you think it's a normal way to treat a team that's just won the premiership, is they've gone and had a 2-week camp in Toowoomba. 2 weeks. They were allowed to go on back home on the weekend. Obviously, Toowoomba's a couple hours drive out of Brisbane. But after the run they had, how deep they went into finals, winning the premiership, then a lot of those guys go and play for the Kangaroos. Then you take them to Toowoomba for 2 weeks, knowing that you then have the World Club Challenge, so we're all going to England again. You're taking these guys away from their family a lot at that point.
Yeah.
Like, is that a normal way to treat a team that's just won the comp?
Yeah, that would have been a decision they've made, obviously, as an inner sanctum. But I have no factual knowledge here, but I know Madge, and I reckon his thinking would have been, we're trying to do something that Penrith have obviously just done, the Roosters did, but like no one really does this. He would have thought, okay, some of these blokes might think this might ease up a bit after getting a bit of success. I know what he's like. He would have turned the dial a couple to the right and gone, you watch this. Like, I'll double down on what I know is successful and what I know works. I'll double down on you here. Whether that's right or wrong, it's not for me, but that is extreme. Like the two weeks. I know that World Club's a big trip.
Yeah.
2 weeks into, yeah. Jimmy?
It does seem excessive in length. I think most clubs now would have a period of time away together, whether that be that weekend before Christmas. Usually a lot of clubs target that as some really intense togetherness in each other's pockets, usually more mental test than physical. The famous Melbourne Storm Army camps.
Yeah, they do. So Melbourne every year this period, it would have been, I think, last week or the week before they go to Trinity Grammar. They spend a week there. A few teams did Mudgee this year.
Yeah.
But every team will do a footy
camp
at this stage of year. It varies from Melbourne to the week to the Chooks went away for a couple of days.
There's no doubt that there's a lot of value in that, but I think the 2 weeks it does seem excessive to the point of it becomes diminishing return on investment, because there's a Goldilocks effect there. I think it's the Overton window where it's like, well, we need some time away, but if we go over, then it just becomes a drain on us. And what I wanted to ask you, Kez, is about coaches are intense. They all are. Wayne Bennett as a coach is intense at the right times. So, just like to ask you about on-field intensity from Maguire, but are we talking about the little details away? Because I've been involved with coaches that it's almost like overbearing about every little detail about what you're doing with your life. There is no off. There's no escape. I think the good coach. Sorry, I'm not saying Madge is a good coach. The great coaches, the Bellamy's of the world, the Bennetts of the world, the Robsons of the world, the ones that have stood the test of time and consistently been at the top level. They seem to have a knack to know, yes, I'm going to be intense, but then I know I can just switch off, but also my players switch off.
Yeah. Now, when I look back, and obviously had him in Origin, he's such a loyal person. He cares about you. Every time I see him, he asks about your family, asks about your wife, asks about your kids. He knows everything about you. He really cares, right? And he is intense. He's intense. We don't know. He's intense. He's intense on the field. He's equally as intense off the field. He's gone through periods, and he said it. He told me he's changed his methods a lot along the way. Like, so he learned a lot at the West Tigers, learnt from his South days. I don't know what it looks like there at the moment, but when there's smoke, when players start talking, you obviously hear the stories come in. There's obviously a bit going on there, and I don't think it's on the field. I think this is away from the field stuff about what he's kind of doing with them away, checking in on them away from it. Like even you said about that camp, I know as a player, that is it is a sore point if you're away, especially as an older player.
Yeah.
You got kids, like Payne's got looking after his kids, his brothers and sisters, like it can wear down on you. And it's all, this is the thing with Madge, it's never from a bad place. I know exactly what he's thinking. Back to back, I know exactly what works, and I'm going to double down, triple down on it.
It becomes draining because I think, like physically, it's hard to push players too far because ultimately it usually ends up in injuries. There's a level that you can push them, but the intensity comes around like things like video, what you're doing in your private life, that over like intensifying that. Like I can remember when I was under Hasler at the Bulldogs, and we thought we did a lot of video. Like we were already like going, we can't get any more into us here. We had the year in 12, made the grand final. Start at 13, right, lads? We all have to buy iPads. Like, what do you mean? It's like, oh, good news is it's the tax write-off because it's for work. So some of the lads were cheering about that. But then, well, we're gonna have this program, this app.
You watch your training. Yeah.
Me and the staff are gonna send you clips for you to watch from training. But then also we're gonna send you tomorrow's video for you to watch in advance. But then, hey, we're not going to watch them again. We are going to watch them again, but you're going to get a second look at them. And it was just like, it was so
Little
overbearing.
things.
You're getting home at 4, 5 in the afternoon. You're back on tomorrow at 7 a.m. You get time with your loved ones. You eat. Then you've got to watch these clips that come in at like 8 o'clock because the coaches have got to cut them up and send them to you. Then you're expected to watch them, download that information. You're going to be asked questions before you see them again. And there was also a caveat that we quickly learned that the coaches could see
the timing on huddle.
time spent engaged on the app, and if you'd actually watched them fully,
leave the iPad on and leave it on the lounge chair.
Well, to be honest, that was people's coping.
That's what they do. I know what
coping
you know exactly what
mechanism was. I'm just going to press play all and just throw my iPad to the side and crack on with life.
Yeah, I reckon it is what would be easy for coaches to lose their perspective, because you can tell they're up there. They want to win so badly. They got so much going on. They're not training every day like the boys, and you can tell. Madge he wants to win so badly. So he'd be going, I know what wins. He does know what wins. He's proven he knows what wins. He's proven he has the method to win, and he's just gone. I guarantee he's doubled. He's tripled down on it. And a lot of people can't handle that. I've seen it at South. A lot of boys couldn't handle it. There's obviously something. There's not. These stories don't come from nowhere. But like you said, Charlie, it doesn't make sense to me, because if I'm Payne's manager and he comes to me and says, I've had enough, I can't do it. Okay, that's one thing. Sweet. Let's go to all the he's obviously gone, Wayne, I want Wayne. There's been no talked up. There's obviously been no chat, because if they chatted to anyone else, someone would have.
Yeah,
leaked.
Definitely. It's under instruction.
Yeah, Payne's shopping
from the client to go, I want to leave, but it's not just I want to leave. That's my destination.
Yeah, like this. I have no knowledge of this, but it sounds like an emotional decision. It sounds like pre-Christmas they're talking about a 12-month extension. There's been no chat. They're away on camp. All of a sudden, out of the absolute blue, he's just gone, bang, I'm signing with South.
Yeah.
And it's obviously happened very quickly on a Sunday, because it's just it's not normal, right? Clubs want to prepare media things.
Yeah.
I know what kind of clubs are like.
Well,
And
I was speaking to someone who had lunch with his manager on Friday, and on Friday, the manager was saying, "Oh yeah, we're nearly done the extension with the Broncos. That's nearly done."
Oh wow, really?
On Friday,
Yeah,
Or was he just saying
he could have been
that?
just saying that
that's
to.
massive. No, that's
Yeah.
honestly. I think this sounds it sounds like something's happened, and he's gone. I'll show you. Watch this.
Yeah,
That Payne.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
It just sounds like, mate, if you're his manager, best interest of the client, unless he's gone, no, I don't want to speak to anyone. I've already spoken to Wayne by myself.
yeah.
You go and, hey, Payne, just stop. Let me
Yeah.
go talk to the Bulldogs. You want to go to Sydney? Let me talk to every Sydney.
Yeah.
Mate, I could, 17 pubs
Perth.
would say,
Perth Bears. Like because if it's
the
gone,
dogs have been
the-
looking for, like,
Yeah.
I reckon he could have created a bidding war
Yeah.
and South wouldn't have gone anywhere.
Dave Fafita's played a big role in this apparently as well. They're obviously high school, played together during high school.
Dave's been there for
A
3
minute,
months.
yeah, I know.
He hasn't played yet.
The best signing
He
of
hasn't played yet.
2026 is going to be David Fafita because he got Payne Haas to the club. Imagine that.
hasn't played
Dave, can you play a bit longer than 20 minutes? Like, hey, who got
Hey,
Payne here?
yeah.
Come on.
Like, it just sounds, this doesn't happen. It does not happen.
Yeah, I'll take your
It
point
does
because
not
it's
happen,
like
mate. It doesn't happen.
Dave can't sell the story of South Sydney
Yeah.
to Payne, can you? It's a really good point. Like
Wayne and Payne have obviously had a chat, but for the managers to just pull the trigger like that without even consulting other clubs, they haven't consulted other clubs because it would have come out. He's given explicit instructions. This is what I'm doing, and I'm doing it this weekend. Let's go and do it. That's why I just reckon these 10 days, mate, they're going away on World Club, right?
Yeah.
If you can't tell me the Broncos board aren't sitting there going, what needs to be done, at least have a crack.
yeah,
At least sit him down and be like, what's the issues? What's the problems? Mate, if you've saying that with a manager telling people, why would
Yeah.
you need to throw a random person off on a Friday?
Well, you know you're mentioning it there, and this is pure just thinking on the spot and thinking out loud, and I'm going to hash ideas out. But if it's management that come from Brisbane hierarchy and say, Payne, what needs to be done, you know what the answer is.
thing is they can't get rid of Madge
No,
No way.
Why not?
because
What you can't get rid of Payne?
Payne made the decision
Charlie.
to leave. Hang on, the CEO Dave Donaghy,
Yeah.
basically put his entire reputation on the line by getting rid of Kevin Walters and bringing Michael Maguire in. If he then 12 months later has to get rid of Michael Maguire to keep one of their best players, I don't know. It seems unlikely.
I think you're underestimating the consequence of this. And I think that those people, the key decision makers at Brisbane, are looking at this and going, we're not just going to put this fire out or this situation and you can go, well, we've got Willison and Tiakora coming through. I don't think replacement for Haas it is going to be an issue. But Brisbane have got, like, I think Willison is scratching the surface about who he can be as a potential front rower. And Tiakora, we saw glimpses of him, but this could ruin Brisbane's chances. The narrative now, we're talking about it. It's only going to intensify. It's only going to intensify. Brisbane and their decision makers have got 10 days. 10 days now to go. This is the.
What do we stand for?
Well, not just what do we stand for. What are the unintended consequences of this? It has the realistic potential to completely destroy Brisbane's season. The dressing room feeling of, like, this talk of, oh, we're going to have one red hot crack, this team's together. That's all well and good. They had the same in 2024 when it was still pretty much the same core group of, look how close we got. Like, look, we're all emotionally fragile. I'll put my hand up and showcase that. But it looked more of like a feeling / emotion. Like they couldn't get over the fact that they'd lost that 23 grand final when they had it won. Like, this situation now arises, and it's going to be this it's going to be versus, it's going to be Madge's methods versus Payne leaving, and it just, even Reynolds today announcing his retirement, and we're all going to get behind that. This is why I talk about the ramifications of this. and people will shoot me down and say there's no one player bigger than the club. There isn't. There's no one coach bigger than the club either. And their methods, where I guarantee that the Broncos hierarchy are having a serious discussion about the only way to bring him back and settle the ship is to give Payne that element of control, and it would require a huge decision, and it would mean their coach moving on.
Mate, this is, I reckon these guys are not replaceable quickly. When Sam left South, when he left us, and Ben, T.O., they didn't replace him. He had to come back. Weren't horrible for 2-3 years. Sam had to come back. Like, if Jared left the Roosters, you don't just replace him. Back then, in his prime. Papali leaves Canberra. Like, these guys aren't just, you don't just replace them. And I'm with you. Like, they will, I guarantee you, they're not just going to let him walk. There's no way this has happened over a long period. This hasn't happened over months. It would have leaked out somewhere.
You'd think
Payne's
so,
not happy. There's a chance he might go. The club are trying their best to get, I reckon this is an emotional thing, and now it's about the executives picking up the pieces and going, can we put this back together in 10 days? Well, they'll be with him in England.
Yeah.
They're all going to be there, and it'll be about, honestly, I reckon I just reckon there's a chance, just because of who he is, what he means to the club, what he's done. He's set up there in Brisbane. His family's there, his brothers and sisters, like everything. It's just
what he means to the dressing room.
That crew of players: Carrigan, Staggs, Mam, Walsh. Like he's the rock. Imagine those front rows under him.
Yeah,
that he's brought through. Like he's such a good guy too. Like had him in Origin camp. There's something's happened. There's no way he's just done this out of
it. Like the biggest story, the potential biggest story from this is that the hierarchy back Haas and move on McGuire.
There's no way.
There's no way. Because even
he's brought them their first premiership in.
No, I'm not. Okay. Coaches,
there might have to be a
coaches
decision.
get too much criticism when things go bad, and probably too much praise when things go well as well.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, and even let's look at Haas and what was required of him to do. Like, he played 80 minutes in the qualifying semi-final against Penrith. You know when you have that conversation, go, look what Madge delivered us. They don't get the opportunity without Payne. He knocked 80 minutes out without Carrigan.
And he was busted as well in that game, playing through injuries.
We were watching that game. We were there, and for all the emotion of it, I can remember looking at Payne Haas going, the bloke can't move. You've got to get him off for at least 5 minutes.
And
it's going to be interesting.
And I wonder if that's an element of him of trying to look after the longevity of his career and thinking, if I keep getting played this way,
no way. It's not money. It's bizarre, right? Because if it was money.
No, not money. No, the longevity of his career, like in terms of his body. I
reckon they're still going to want him
playing.
They're still going to play. That's the type of player he is. Like, he's a big minute player.
But you can go 70 minutes and a lighter week.
Yeah, that's the off-field stuff.
That's what it comes.
Can I do this training?
Because you got that physical load of that superhuman effort the week before the grand final, and then grand final week. Things dial up, and you just go. Payne was amazing in that game again, but the finish line is there, and then you get to that finish line, and the big six again. 2 weeks into.
I think if it was planned, right? If he'd sat down with Tyron Smith and his management and went, all right, time's up here. This is not working. The contract's not good, or I don't like Marge, or whatever it was. They would have come up with a plan to go, okay, just let me suss out a few clubs here. Every club would have been interested. Let's plan this out. This doesn't seem planned. Wayne's good on Wayne. Good on South too, by the way.
Yeah.
This is so good by them. For no one to know, for Wayne to execute, and then to happen so quick. Good on them. And it's changed the narrative around South completely.
It's going to be the longest 10 days for South Sydney fans. Waiting.
I just think everyone needs to, honestly, I just think there's more. There's something else.
There's twists to this.
I think there's something else.
Let's talk about.
You think there's another twist?
I reckon there's a big chance. Honestly, he
can
goes
you-
away. Like it's probably slim, but it just doesn't make sense in my head that it's happened like this. Like I just think there's a chance that he might. It's his home.
Yeah.
But
It's his home.
You know, like life advice is about enjoy the moment. Like if you're a South Sydney fan, you just want to go to sleep and wake up in 10 days and just hope that, like the
Because
anxiety.
you can waive this period, right? Can you waive it now?
Yeah. Yeah, you can. Yeah. Yeah.
Who the
It can be waived.
the club
The club
that you
can,
leave,
yeah.
that you
Yeah.
leave can waive it.
Ah,
Yeah, you as the player can't waive.
Yeah,
I
right.
don't.
no, I know that. Yeah, the clubs have to
The
waive.
Broncos have to waive, sign the waiver.
So I
to
reckon
do the
if
waiver.
there was a massive thing, they would have just gone, see you, mate.
I can't wait. I can't wait to see what happens the next 10 days. Let's talk about the bunnies, though.
Just wait because I've got a good story to tell about like players and their attitudes. So I've spoke about it before on the show. Nick Fozzard played with him at St Helens, 2006. I'm quite young. We won minor premiers, the league and the cup. We did the treble. First day of pre-season in 2007, we start doing this like we did this conditioning drill, like, and everyone's like blowing. And Foz just like brings everybody in front of the coaches and goes, tell you what, lads, we just need to relax. We're the champions. Let them come to us. In front of Daniel Anderson. Like he was the joker of the crew. Like we do a week in Spain, not 2 weeks into Woomba, and he'd like get on the bus at the end as we're going to the airport, and he'd sit like 4 rows behind Daniel Anderson and go, oh, I tell you what, this has been the best holiday I have ever had. Seriously, I'm not even joking. Like, you know, just like you talk to someone, and Daniel the gaffer would be like, and he'd be like, hey! Like, I'd love to see him and Madge. Relax.
Oh,
We're the
God.
champions. Let them come to us.
Yeah. On bunnies, though.
Yeah.
So 3-year deal. I mean, bunnies fans are over the moon. You got people calling them the premiership favourites for 2027.
Woodsy's
Woodsy.
crazy.
What do you boys think, though? Does it make them a contender straight away? The thing about it, as well as if you look at the players they've got signed already for 2027, it's obviously going to put a lot of squeeze on their salary cap. They've got no real halves signed for 2027 is the big concern. But if you bring in Haas, does it make you contender straight away?
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Me nan could play halfback in that team. Like, just
It makes them better.
Payne to go forward, lob the ball to Latrell and see you later. You're not even going to have to work on your short kicking game. You know, AJ scores all the tries. I reckon there's a chance Cody Walker just sits this year out and just waits for next year. That's what I'd do if I was.
Well, he's not signed.
There's massive.
No, I know
question
he's not
marks.
signed, but he just put himself on ice and just go, I'll wait. I'll wait.
There's
He was a
massive
late
question
developer
marks there.
anyway, so he'll be sweet.
This is the other thing. Not that it doesn't make sense, but he's leaving that Brisbane team who are premiership favourites this year.
Yep, they are.
Well,
On bad ropes.
they
Yep.
were.
Go to a
They
South
were.
team in limbo. They're in a.
I like your dance.
Is Wayne off?
Wayne is signed until the end of 27.
Okay, so he gets a year there at least. I'm sure he wants to stay now.
Would you think if he's signed, Wayne's given him some indication he's going to stick around?
I don't know because I don't know what's something's happened.
Yes.
Of
Yes.
course he has.
Yes.
Which also, Tony made a
100%.
really good point. That obviously rules Wayne out of PNG
Yeah,
as well.
of course it does. Yeah.
Yeah.
Payne Haas is not coming down wondering
Who's going to be the coach?
Who's going to be the coach? Wayne will
Walker
have
off
been
in 26.
And also, if you're Wayne and you've bought him in, that's leverage. That's bargaining power. That's
Yeah, he's my guy. Yeah, he's
I
my
bought
guy.
brand.
Brandon,
Like
yeah.
I've built this roster here, and it does for me. It catapults them into contention. I've looked at South Sydney and go, like, even going back a number of years now. You know, the signings that they were making. It's like this is all well and good, but where's their middles? Felt their middle.
Yeah, well, they
look-
moved Keon in. They've moved Keon in.
They've moved, like, you know,
They've lacked
obviously
that front
Cameron
row.
Murray missing for sustainable periods, for sustained periods there. But I always, when I'm examining their team and looking like what the South miss is probably that middle, and especially that really bit of punch. Like you say, Keon moves in and look to have solved that problem, or at least part of the puzzle. He leaves, and then you go, yeah, that left edge, but middle so vulnerable. That problem solved.
The Keon thing's interesting because Haas and Keon are part of the same agency as well. So don't have the exact same agent, but they're part of the same agency. So they know exactly what money Keon would be having off and what money can go to Haas. But if you think about their cap, so I'll give you 7 names. They're going to take up more than 50% of South Sydney's cap for 2027. You got Jack Whiten, who's reportedly on $850,000 next year. You got Cam Murray, who's on $1 million next year. You got Jai Arrow, who's on $800,000 next year. You got Latrell Mitchell, who's reportedly on $1.1 million a year. You got Brandon Smith on reportedly $600,000 a year. Geez, we shouldn't have paid him at the buy round, Jimmy, when he was here. We should not have paid Cheese.
Tipping some of that.
And Campbell Graham on $700,000 next year. So that's 7 players. Oh, sorry, and Payne Haas, I should say, he's going to be on 1.2. So that's 7 of your players taking up more than 50% of your cap. And I haven't even named Dave Fifita, Jai Gray, Tavita Totola,
We have to do
Alex
Walker.
Johnston.
You'll have to get Walker back on.
Well, Cody Walker's not signed beyond next year. So they got a massive salary cap juggling act to do. And that's where you think, like, which of these players they might tap and say...
Do they?
Well, if they want to bring someone like Cody Walker back, definitely.
There's some pieces they're going to have to move. Tony said to me before, wouldn't it be something if he convinced Reynolds to
Come out of retirement.
go an extra year?
Well, there was a rumor over the there was a rumor.
You can't just let that one go through to the keeper. Talking about Adam Reynolds.
If anyone can do it, Wayne, honestly.
Yeah. Well, it's funny Tony said it because there was actually a rumor over the summer that Adam Reynolds was unhappy that the Broncos had signed Jonah Pezza because he felt like maybe he wanted to prove he had another year.
Well, he said he wanted to play, and Ben Hunt said the same thing.
Yeah.
Well, what did Broncos bring Benny Hunt up? What was the
$500,000 a year?
$500,000 a year. There's some cheap options there for that.
Imagine that for a story.
Well, you know what, Charlie? You can have 3 players on over $1 million.
Yeah, which
make
they'll
your
have
salary cap
Latrell,
there.
Cam Murray, and Payne Haas, and then they'll also have fringe $1 million a year players in Jai Arrow, Jack Whiten, and then you've got a lot of guys on big money still. Like I said, Cheese, Campbell Graham. Don't forget Jai Gray's on reportedly $600,000 a year with that new extension.
Yeah.
Tavita Totola would be on good money because when he signed that extension, he was going really well.
Tallis Duncan, they're gonna have to redo him.
Definitely
soon.
Dave Fifita, obviously the
They're gonna
Titans
have
are chucking a fair bit of
rejig
that.
there. I can imagine them. If this has happened as quick as it's just gone, let's just get him in, figure it out later.
Yeah.
Oh,
Get him
100%.
in,
Yeah,
he's our
yeah,
centerpiece, and then we'll figure the rest out later. Figure out 7, figure out 6. Yeah, I don't know if there's much.
Because Humphreys isn't signed for next year as well. So if you go on NRL.com and look at all the players South have got signed, the only half they've got there is Ashton Ward, who played a few games this year and looks.
He wasn't bad.
Yeah, so maybe he's an option for them. Maybe you move. I did a podcast this morning with David Riccio, and he said move Latrell Mitchell into the halves for 27.
There's going to be options. We've tried that.
Yeah.
Tried that.
Yeah, they have tried that.
There's going to be there'll be some things will pop up.
Yeah. Well, the beauty of the timing for Souths is the Perth Bears coming into the comp. So, the unfortunate consequence of bringing in a star like Payne Haas and this, maybe we're going to have to, move some players on. They're not in a position where and because they've got time as well, they might not have to tip too much money in. So, if you talk about a Campbell Graham, a Jai Arrow, even dare I say a Cam Murray, you've got Perth Bears that would go, we'll have them all.
Yeah, true.
They're
going to have to move one or two of them. You'd think
we'll
have them all at full. We're willing to pay full cost. So Souths are in they're not in a situation where they go, we've got to move some players on with like in a matter of months.
Yeah, they're going to have to make a decision on Jack too. Because they've signed him on that money to play centre, and then you got both centres on nearly $1 million a year. Latrell's over. That's not sustainable.
Yeah. So your Jack Whitens, your Jai Arrows, they'd be sought after. All those players that you mentioned, there's some that are untouchable. They'd be covered. They'd be safe. Like Latrell, Brandon, Fafita's new. But I think maybe probably Murray fits into that category.
Yeah.
He's definitely
He's
the-
untouched.
Yeah, he's
captain.
untouched. He's
yeah.
untouched. Yeah, all right. But the others that are around that, like even the likes of Jai Gray, Totola, you know.
The
those
thing
are
is, they need Jai Gray because who's going to play fullback unless you want to put Latrell back at fullback? Like, it's a big job, this. I reckon it's a huge job. You know, I'd love to see, you guys might shut me down here completely. I'd love to see players' contracts become public just so there's more transparency around the cap as a whole and third
Money-wise.
parties. Yeah, money-wise. And third parties, I think they should be public as well because fans are going to look at this South team we're listing and go, how the bloody hell can they afford them and we have got the team we've got?
But it'd be the same with the Broncos at the moment. Like, how do they fit Carrigan over a mil, Haas over a mil, Walsh over a mil?
But
Sneaking
exactly.
in Benny Hunt on 500. Like, fans don't like that.
But
like,
exactly. So if we have it public.
How do they get Stags in the team? How can they afford, like...
But exactly, because salary cap's the biggest
all
joke
that'll-
ever.
All that'll happen then, if that happens, Charlie, is fans will be able to go...
It's the biggest joke. Salary cap's the biggest
fans will
joke.
be able to go, why is he only getting paid that much? He should be getting more.
Yeah,
Or they'd be looking at some that add more scrutiny.
100%. That's what like, because you see these big clubs like South Sydney, like the Broncos, like Roosters, like Penrith. They have these insane rosters, and the fact that we don't even know what the third parties these people are getting, like, it just would make it a more transparent setup, which I think we need.
Yeah,
like,
but-
I reckon you'd be surprised that the third part that's not as big as people think it is. You'd be surprised, Jimmy. You reckon? Like, I know I can only speak from my own experience and boys that I know, but like, no, don't laugh. No, I'm serious.
yeah, the
It's
Roosters
not-
don't do third
It's
parties.
not as
Jimmy.
big. It's not as.
Yeah,
You're not
yeah.
getting hundreds of
Yeah.
thousands of dollars worth of. If you're on a mill, you're not getting 200 or 300 extra. Like, it doesn't work like that. It might be a tiny bit extra, but it's not. These aren't massive. It's not massive, and they come from everywhere, right? You might. We'll use Cooper as an example, right? He had a deal with Fox when he came down that had nothing to do with. It was they
Yeah, it was
wanted him to do
completely
after
set,
footy,
yeah.
but that's counted as a third party.
Yeah, right.
Because it's got third parties aren't meant to have anything to do with the club. That's a third party. Whatever Fox wanted him to do, and then they'd obviously talk with Cooper about after, had nothing to do with the Roosters or some boys that sign with do stuff with Channel 9. They're all third parties that you'd be surprised. It's not when you go to negotiate, they don't go, we'll give you 800 and we'll top you up with 200 of.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
not.
it doesn't work.
It's
like
kind of
that.
your salary, and third parties are. It's just like a extra
Little bonus.
A little bonus. Oh,
Yeah.
you know, so there's a business that might want to do, you know, it's not like, oh, you're going to get an extra 300,000 off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You'd be surprised. But the salary thing, yeah, I don't know how I feel about it because obviously as a player, I wouldn't want people to know I was on X amount just because of the scrutiny you're under then. Like,
But they
he's on
speculate
800,
anyway,
why is he-
don't they? Like, I'm sure
They
when you
kinda
sign
know,
extension,
but-
they would have gone Luke Keary on $1 million
They do
a
know.
year.
I had a few where they were, I remember Buzzy said to his rich, whatever, and I was going, fuck. I remember Radley one year actually had him up right up top, and Raz was like, who's giving him this information? Like, I'm nowhere near this. And we all laugh about it. So, mate, they'd be different, yeah.
Yeah.
It would be great for us now because you can
Yeah.
analyse rosters and go, he's not playing to X amount, or, wow, they got him for 400, he's a $600,000 player. Like,
And
it'd be
I guess
great
the
for us.
media pressure on underpaid players would increase on the clubs to upgrade them. Like if you
Yeah.
saw let's give an example of, Tony Staggs, let's say he's on 500, all the media would be coming up and be like, he's an $800,000 a year player, he's got to get upgraded.
Yeah.
There'd be a lot, I reckon, yeah, there'd be a lot more movement too because players they'd be able to see, right? Tony Staggs would be able to go, why is he on
Yeah.
800 over
What?
there? And
Yeah,
I'm
the
on-
old
What's going on?
compare.
You could ring your manager and go,
There'd be a
"What's
lot of
going- what have you done
comparison.
here?"
Yeah.
That'd be- yeah, I'm not against it. I just think
Yeah.
it would be tough on some players.
I think there's a lot of time here for South to figure some things out in terms of you said about Cody Walker or any of those players that are off, or even maybe bringing some people in. There's players that would look at that roster and go, I'm
Young
happy to
halves.
come and play.
Young halves.
Yeah, young halves like Humphreys would maybe not go for the upgrade he would deserve. If he has a good year, or if he's in that system or whatever it is, his market value to a pair, with the two new teams coming in, it's gonna inflate everybody's value, but he might just be like, well, hang on a minute, I might stay around for 2 more years unless
Get to play with Payne, Latrell.
We touched on Adam Reynolds retiring. You good mate? Obviously, you won the premiership with him. Are you sad to see him go? And do you have any good memories of playing with Adam?
He's had a great career, 2 premierships, South and Brisbane. He's fought through different form things at time, played State of Origin. To see him win last year was cool. That was special. But he did say he feels like he can go again. I know he's busted the back end of last year, a couple of soft tissues, but if it is the end, what a career! What a career!
Yeah,
what a career for a guy. I remember when he came in. I remember Madge had him at the very start and was like, "All I want you to do is kick and tackle, and to build his game." And he didn't have all the ball playing stuff right at the beginning, and he's slowly built his game to sustain himself over 15, 16 seasons. Quite an effort.
It's been a long career, and I think, looking back, South would be gutted that analysing the decision-making process.
It's been scrutinised.
We got that one wrong, didn't we? But good on him for moving to Brisbane,
when he
starting
left
a new life.
When he left, I remember they were right down the bottom. It was a massive call for him. I remember speaking to him at the time. He's like, "No, it's a great opportunity. Go with this young crew." Made 2 grand finals with them. Nearly won that second one. He's been a massive factor in the rebuilding of that Broncos team.
Yeah, I just wonder how he's feeling about going into this year now. And we spoke a little bit about team chemistry, how we all feeling. He would have been rightly aggrieved by the signing of Jonah Pezzett, but I mean that's business, that's football. Okay, well they're making plans for life after me, even though they've got a couple of good young halves back there that maybe he could have done a sort of dual role next season, but potentially I don't know. But now that Payne's gone, how that changes the landscape of the Brisbane dressing room and performances in season 2026. It's going to be different.
Last ride
for.
But like you said, if the stories coming out start to get out of control, this next 10 days, stuff's going to start trickling right now about why, because we all want to know why. Everyone wants to know why. South fans probably want to know why too. Then it becomes, if that happened, what's their reply? Yeah. What's Brisbane's reply to that? How's Carrigan feel right now? How's Reese feel right now? How's Reynolds? You know what I mean? There's a whole narrative to come out, I think.
That premiership that he got this last year, Adam Reynolds, how big is that for his legacy? I mean, you think about in the run-up to it, the preliminary final, we've got the sideline conversion as well, clutches. There's probably been a bit of a narrative.
That was pretty cool.
It was
awesome.
Was
very cool.
And there's probably been a bit of a narrative around him maybe not being a clutch player, but then if you look at his record, he's got 2 premierships, he's lost 2 grand finals, 2 wins. That's amazing.
4 grand finals, yeah. It was awesome to see, as a close friend, him get it done last year. Obviously, the South grand final with Penrith, he kicks that for you feel for him. Then they couldn't get it done with Brisbane, and finally get it done. Dual premiership player at 2 of the biggest clubs in the league. Yeah, clutch. He's kicked a lot of field goals and won a lot of games for South and Brisbane. So yeah, he'll have no dramas with his legacy after. And I know he wants to go into coaching after too, so it'll be interesting to see where he ends up.
Well, I'm sure they'll have a job there for him in Brisbane. They wouldn't want to lose.
I think that was the idea. I know his family loves it there.
Yeah.
They're all the kids are at school there. His wife loves it. I think that's home for him.
The thing is, we spoke about third parties. You can't guarantee jobs after. So, if Adam Reynolds, if there is a job available that
he'll have to put his resume in.
He'll have to apply and go through the regular processes, because we wouldn't want to accuse a club of guaranteeing said player a job after football on said wage, because we all know that doesn't happen.
Ever. Didn't happen to you, did it?
No.
Didn't have to
No,
Luke either.
don't jeopardise that.
Where's Luke working at the moment?
I'm on plead the Fifth Amendment.
at the
I'm not
bar.
going to. I'm not going to. Yeah. I'm not going to incriminate myself. Just on Adam Reynolds, I think you summed it up well there, Kez, and I think I've known him from being around the traps. He's always been a good guy to interact with, and I think when you're in the game as a player, you don't really care too much about the feel good stories of opposition players. But now out of the game, I think seeing the trajectory of Adam's career, the scrutiny that he came under about going to Brisbane and not being able to get it done as a 7, that kick against the Panthers from the sideline on the wrong side, you're like genuinely happy for someone that you don't really know. You're like, that's. I think like as a person that's connected to the NRL, it's like, I'm really pleased for him that he got that done.
Same venue where he missed the conversion in the grand final as well, because that year the grand final was at Suncorp as well. Yeah. So very awesome. The trials.
How good?
How good is it to have footy back?
Bit of rugby league.
Oh, it's actually amazing just to be able to sit there and watch footy. It just changes your weekend.
Can I be honest?
Yeah.
I mean, there's a phrase that gets thrown around in rugby league. Trials, one for the purists.
They are. I'll tell you one for the purist, Braithen Astor
on
purists. Television on Fox Sports. He looks fantastic, Braith. He's had a good off-season training by the looks of things. Tan, strong. Had the buttons undone in his shirt. Looked great. But no, Cade Reed in the Dragons game, he looked great, Luke.
Yeah, that was the game I was looking forward to watching. Obviously, Sandon, Fletcher Sharp were for the Knights, and then I'd never seen Cade Reed. I'd heard from him. He was honestly took the intercept in the first 5 minutes. Like, okay, I think Sandon grubbed one in. He pulled one out of the in goal. I was like, this kid's got a little bit. He looked tiny. I was like, he's got a little bit. And then when he scored the try, I was going, okay, here we go. Then chased Sandon down, put 2 tries on. He's passed his last try assist. He's run the centre lead and he's thrown out to the winger. Like, for a kid, like, I know what that feels like. The first chance you get in front of everyone. He's probably had a big preseason. And the Dragons fans, I've seen a few comments after the game.
Dragons fans,
they are excited, which is good. Like, they need this kid. Like, this is great for them. Like, he looks like he's got something.
I was with a couple of Dragons supporters on Sunday, and they were saying like, "Oh, do you reckon it'd be bad if he if Coach Flanagan has to drop his son for him? Like, how's that going to go? And what would the wife say? Like, do you reckon that's something that can happen?" I'm like, just calm down. Let's just relax.
See how it goes next week.
Yeah, it's just a trial, but it is great to have the football back, the excitement back, and fans are starting to dare to dream, and the fact that it's it's televised, it just opens up the avenue for more fans to be more clued into the game. It used to be the case of those very select fans would go to reserve game, go to the reserve game, go to the first trial when there's not all the stars are playing, or most of the stars are only getting, or a few get 20 minutes here and there. But now that's opened that up for everybody to have a look. We know how important Supercoach is for some people. Maybe they've
get their cheapies.
Get onto the cheapies. So.
I might play this year, actually.
Yeah, I play a draft with my mates. It's good fun. It's good fun.
It's too stressful.
You know,
you know what? There's a lot of Supercoach organisers that are of the Madge Maguire ilk. Where it's like, you've got to make your changes before, or you do like a tip and cup. No, because I don't like the intensity that comes around it. I like to enjoy my sport. Okay. Like, it's like a tip and comp. You've got to get your tips in before this time. It's like, can we?
You can't get it enough.
You're not allowed to change your tips. Like, just relax. Maybe relaxed.
I'm keen to see him play again though. Like, he mightn't play this year, but that type of player, you'd love to see him a year in reserve grade, and then at the end of the year go, is he ready?
Yeah,
because he had everything.
Because the talk is that this weekend for the Charity Shield, they're going to have Flanagan and Atkinson So maybe he's in the
He'll
extended
get
squad on
10
the bench.
minutes at the end or something like that.
Are you interested to see how Atkinson's going to go?
Yeah.
Because
Yep.
looking at his, I'm on Rugby League project at the moment. He's only played one full game since round 25, 2024. He's only played one full
And
game
that
of first grade.
That probably was on the wing.
It was at
Is it a lot?
5'8".
5'8".
Yeah.
He played a few games coming on the wing.
Yeah, he played a lot of games off the
played everywhere.
bench. He's played in centre a fair bit.
Sevens
wing.
are different.
He's never played seven his
Beast.
entire career.
Yeah, it's interesting, right? Flano's and Mick Ennis is there too. They've got to juggle how that works. There's obviously been a lot of chat about it last couple of years. They need to find a solution. They've obviously gone and handpicked Atkinson. Flano's has gone and got him. So he obviously thinks he can do it. It'll just be interesting how them two go together because he's not a natural seven, obviously. He would have come through as seven. Flano kind of was a seven. Now he's still like there's no natural. It'll be interesting to see I'm interested to see how they play rather than how are they going to ask him to be an on-ball seven or are they going to split him and Flano from side to side? Gutho will go both sides. It'd be interesting to see how they play.
How did you find playing with Carl? Because he obviously did he debut alongside you?
He debuted at Cronulla.
Yeah.
Playing hooker off the bench. They obviously brought him in to play seven. He was very young at the time. He was actually, I thought he did quite a good job. He just probably didn't have that extra, which is what we've seen. Right, it's probably been, Roosters have probably been proven right by the decision they ultimately made, but he just didn't have that little extra bit, probably to be a really top-end number seven. And it's kind of, he's gone to the Dragons. He's found a place as a six, but whether he's the long-term answer or not, they'll know. Within 10 rounds, they'll know, is Atkinson the one? Is Flano the one? Is this Reed? How does he go for, 5-6 weeks in reserve grade? They'll have some answers, but yeah, it's still question marks there.
I think if I look back at Dragons last year, so close in so many games, I think at least 5 games that were lost by less than a try.
Yep.
So they're not that far away, but does Atkinson come in and find himself being able to make that difference? It sounds on paper when you look at it statistically, you go, we can all, if we win 4 of those 6 or 3 of those 5, whatever it may be,
8.
then you add those points up, and it's like before you know it, all that does for morale, those close wins, and you can run away with it, and you can convince yourself that it's not that difficult a task, but it is, and that's where those elite players make the difference. Is Atkinson one of those players yet? No, but that doesn't mean he can't be.
Yeah.
But that's the pressure on them, like their ability to be in contests last year under Coach Flanagan is not in question. It's getting those tight wins, which comes down to your spine players fundamentally.
That extra bit of class.
Yeah, that touch of class, and maybe Atkinson could, and even the previous players that were there, they might have looked at it and gone, well, it's not necessarily our fault. We don't have enough strike out wide. We don't have that moment of class.
Yep.
You got Val Holmes there, but then what else is there? We spoke about South Sydney and Latrell in the centres, moving them to the halves. Well, there's times last year where the ball would just get to Latrell, and then it's like the show stops here. The game ends there. But we saw him do it on multiple occasions, and that's that player of class that you can almost just get the ball to. I don't know if the Dragons have that player, but then is the scrutiny going to come on Atkinson and Flanagan to produce?
The spotlight's going to be on.
Yeah, it's on there.
Especially
Maybe unfairly.
Yeah, especially with Flano. There's the story around that, but now there's another kid that the fans have seen too. The drums will be banging.
And if
you know what, talking about the trials and open the door for the fans to see it, because it's through Fox League now where all the games are on. But this gives now every Dragons fan they've got the bullet loaded of this young player that they want to see, and they think, Well, you can do it every week.
Mm.
And again, in the trial, it's not the same as doing it. Very, very different to doing it in the NRL.
It's funny you mentioned that about, Flanagan stuff, because all the comments on everything was like, oh, he needs to replace Flano, all that stuff. So, at least they've got an option there, though. If things don't go that well, maybe they can get him in at some point during the year, whether you give him a handful of games or...
It'll be up to him. It'll be up to the kid. Like he's obviously a bit undersized now, but it'll be up to him after 10, 12 rounds.
Sandon Smith, Fletcher Sharp, it was sort of framed as a shootout of sorts. Obviously, he had Sharp in the 6, Sandon Smith in the 7. The talk is that Sandon Smith's going to get first crack at halfback. What'd you make of their performance?
Yeah, I love Sando. Right? I've been with him for the last few years, and he did exactly probably what he did at the Roosters. There was 6 or 7 really good moments, and then 3 or 4 errors where you just you can't do that. Like if you're going to be the number 7 at Newcastle with Ponga, you can't have that. You need to control. There was a few times they didn't get their last plays on, but then he went at it straight away. Right, they dropped the ball off the kickoff. He nearly a try. Cade Reed takes an intercept. The next time he touched the ball, he went down a short side and just threw one over the touchline. But if he hits the winger, he's probably a try. But he's a punter. And you just look and go, okay, he's going to have to calm it down. He's going to have Brown and Ponga there to steer the ship. I love Fletcher Sharp. He's so good, but you can't play him 7. You can't. He's not a 7.
Unless you play Dylan Brown 7.
Yeah. Well, that was the plan.
Yeah.
That was the plan was Sully bought Brown as a 7. I don't think Justin. I haven't spoken to Justin, but I don't think he sees it that way. Sandon come in late. But
It's funny listening to you there, Kez, around Sandon Smith, and all he needs to do really is do the percentage plays. And again, it sounds easy, right? Like you spoke about Adam Reynolds, and Mads gives him the instruction of, I just need you to kick and tackle. Like that's all, because we've got GI to do that sort of miracle stuff.
Yeah.
We've got the supernova moments are all taken care of. You just get us around the park, finish our sets off. When you make your tackles when they come in, will be sweet. But is it maybe a bit of ego or a bit of you see an opportunity? Punter where you see an opportunity and go, well, I want to take. And some players you want to encourage that, but some players you want to dial it down and say, hey mate, we don't need you a percentage pass. Like even if it's 99%, game like situational awareness is key too, but also just knowing your role. Like if
Pong is the punter too.
Yeah.
So
and Pong is a better punter than Sandon Smith.
And I looked at it because after the game I was like, I watched Sandon from afar last year. I went, he did so many good things, right? Anzac Day, you think of that, and then there was so many errors around some of the stuff he did, like a bit of inconsistency. He had it was something like 21 errors in his 17 games, and Ponga had 18 or 19 in 7.
Errors or errors involvement?
Errors.
Yeah.
Whatever that is on the NRL site. And Brown's a little bit of a punter too, right? Brown.
Yeah.
I think that works if Sandon can, because I like they changed the way they played. So Justin's got Sandon up on ball. He'll play a heap in front of the line, middles inside, outside him. He'll play with the 3 middles a lot, which will free Brown and Ponga up on both sides. Brown will be able to come around when he wants to play. Like I could tell what they've done, what Justin's doing, because I've been in his system before. So I know exactly how it's going to work, and it's going to. Ponga and Brown will love it. They'll love that style, but Sandon just has to lock down. But Sharp is, you can't leave him out. I mean, you cannot. I'm sticking him at right centre and letting him.
Yeah, play him in the,
letting him play.
Yeah.
So Gagai drops out then?
Gags, he's got a soft tissue at the moment. He probably goes to the wing.
And then maybe Marzu
drops out.
Yeah.
I think he has to play.
Yeah.
You have to have him on the field. In that team, they lacked the point scoring a bit. He's one of their best players with a ball in hand. He's not going to play 7. Or he could play 6, but I don't like Brown at 7.
No, fair enough. Just before we go, I don't know if you've seen this one, Jimmy, but Reed Mahoney has had a bit of a shot at the Bulldogs, sort of saying that last year was the toughest part of his career, dealing with all that, and also that he basically still doesn't know why they got rid of him. the quote in the Sydney Morning Herald article says, "If you find out, tell me." He says to the journo.
Can you find out for us, Jimmy, please?
Because they've gone with someone else. Fundamentally, that's what it is. They obviously looked at what was happening, and I've got a lot of sympathy with Reed because I liked what he brought to the Bulldogs. I really did. He came at a time when it was a tough sell. He was the captain there for the year. I thought that probably weighed him down, and then he brought a style and aggression. He was an aggravator, but I loved his contribution, and I think he'll be he's got the potential to be one of the best signings. If things go well for the Cowboys, he's gonna play a huge role in that. And maybe he is in a state of confusion there, but it's clear that the Bulldogs looked at different options at 9 and thought that was going to serve them better.
Money thing?
I don't think it was
because he would have come on decent coin, right? He's a pretty big signing from Para. I love that he came out and said that too, because when they play, he's good on him.
Yeah, and they're both going to be in Vegas as well.
Oh yeah,
maybe stay in the same hotel like you guys were that time with Brisbane. Everyone on the same floor.
Bailey Hayward really is the person that's taken over.
Yeah, but he didn't do a great job during the playoffs, did he?
No, but the decision was already made.
Yeah, but
so,
it was
again. So, but the decision was made.
Was it a correct decision last year though?
Is Bailey Hayward a better player than Reed Mahoney?
He's a different player than.
Is he a better player? Better 9.
It depends on what you're trying to do.
What are you?
well, I think for serviceability, I think Bailey is maybe got a better temperament and doesn't demand as much. Where I think Reed is more of a I can do some stuff with the football here. Where Bailey is going to work really hard in defence and he's going to service.
Yep.
Service is.
But Reed's would have better service than Bailey Hayward.
No, but Reed's going to want to look to play a bit more. I feel. That's my like he's going to want to be a bit more involved in attack, where I think Bailey will see more just pure service, not do too much. But maybe that will come, and maybe that's what they've been working on in the off season. But also like the makeup of the cap, which is important. We've spoke about Souths and the impact there, but Reed would have been one of the top earners where Bailey's not, so that frees you up, and it's all a balancing act. Like. Even looking at South Sydney, like they don't have any Haas, but they've got this gun left hand side and the best forward in the game.
Where do you want to play?
You can't. What do you value and what do you not? You can't have it all. We've gone to the days of stacking teams of internationals and quality players.
It's not.
You've got to have holes. You've got to have players that play above their contract value.
Did Serrato make him captain?
Yes.
That's just a bit of a to go from captain to not captain to then to gone. Like captains are that doesn't happen. If you make your way to, it doesn't happen often.
And it's not salary cap planning the reason they dropped him, because like it doesn't matter. The year already the money's already spent. The money's there. Yeah. So that's like a bit of a cop out, I reckon.
Maybe he's got a point, Reed.
Yeah, I feel a bit bad for Reed Mahoney.
So do I. And like I said, I genuinely do like him. I thought, and I got nothing but love and respect for what he did for the club.
Yeah.
But it's footy sometimes, and they've looked at it, the balance of the team, the makeup of the spine, and gone, this is the way we're going to go forward. And they live and die off that.
Is there any young 9s there coming through?
I'm not 100% sure on that case. They've got
Gordon from Manly.
Yeah, they've got a strong pathway system in there that they've been really focusing on. Like, I think that's the model of a lot of clubs now, and they're starting to see the results of that from the investment of 2-3 years ago. It takes time. Obviously, Penrith are the leaders in that. I think you yourself at the Roosters, they've gone that
every
youth
team's
development.
doing it,
A lot of the smarter clubs are looking at academy products rather than buying them in.
Good show, boys.
Great show.
Payne Haas, how exciting. Biggest story of the year, already done and dusted.
So what are we taking from this? They've had a blow-up.
Wait 9 days.
Wait 9 days.
We'll reconvene.
Maguire's potentially gone.
I reckon it'll be the 9th day.
The 9th day. 9th day and
On
23
the 9th
hours
day,
in.
Payne Haas. The Courier Mail said to me, there's been a backflip.
Carianis the new...
Well, that's a good
dog?
discussion. Carianis breaks it, but he also had Brent Reed on the byline with him. Now, my understanding is Carianis got the scoop initially, and he brought Brent Reed in to sort of clear it
Wow,
up.
he's such a good bloke.
Yeah, that is a really good
He's
bloke.
such a good bloke.
I would not do that. I would be all about
I'll just
myself.
print it. I'll just print it.
You know what I actually was having the thought of yesterday in terms of this coming out as it did. I was saying, this is what happens when you don't have Buzz and you don't have Chamas on the scene anymore. Look at what's happened. These stories have slipped under the radar. Where's Buzz and where's Chamas? In fact, bring back Buzz, bring back Chamas. We want this story to be going on for weeks on end. I feel like it's all been condensed into like 1 week. We've got 10 days. We want to drag this out all the way to
10
June
days.
30th. All on again, off again.
When do they fly out?
This week, I think
Monday,
they fly
today.
out. Today. Oh, that's
Tuesday.
it's an awkward
That'll
flight,
be-
isn't it? Do you reckon Madge puts his seat next to
right
Payne
next to
Haas
him.
on the plane?
You know those business ones where the thing you can put the thing down and you're next to each other?
Sorry, Mads, Captain speaking. No, not Renault or Carrigan. I've just got to. I need to listen to this message, mate.
Just quickly, if the big dog journos, if you're doing like a little Mount Rushmore of who's on at the moment, you've probably got to have Weidler there. Just given the legacy in the game, everything he's done, he's got to be there. I'd have Brent Reed on the big four, Mount Rushmore. Then it becomes tough. You want Carianis in there?
You
you did drive radio with him, so he's your buddy. So we'll put him on there.
He's such a good bloke. You know what he said to me? He goes, I think I said it, my biggest fear is that he writes something and it's wrong.
Yeah, wow.
He's like, I never want to.
When he needs to lose that attitude.
Yeah, I know. Just start writing stuff.
Yeah, just go for
Let
it.
him know.
Yeah.
And then it's four on Mount Rushmore, isn't it?
Bedell?
Yeah, but is Bedell too Brisbane focused? I reckon, mate, unless you're in Sydney, you're not one of the true big dogs. Sorry, Pete Bedell, if you hear that.
Riccio?
Yeah, I reckon it's got to be Riccio, doesn't it?
You know what? It's almost created a bit of a power vacuum. It's like one of the big cartel has gone down, and it's like
Who takes?
Who's gonna take over? Is there like a young up and coming that we don't know about?
Yeah.
That's just gonna
Well,
be
there's
like,
this guy on Instagram who's just signed with ESPN called Isaac Issa. And he breaks some stories here and there. Sort of a bit of an underground journey. Signed with ESPN. I saw him do a thing about signing with ESPN.
ESPN do rugby
Australia.
league.
They're doing a little bit of rugby league, yeah.
Oh, okay. Can I throw a smoky out there?
Yeah. Ben Dobbin.
God, no. God. If he takes over, then if Ben Dobbin takes over as the number one journalist, you know you're living in a simulation.
Yeah.
Because it cannot be true.
It's not physically possible.
I'm looking at him.
Me. My life's too good to be a journo. My life's too good to be a journo. You know.
Could get even better.
Could get even better, yeah.
And that's what you would say if you were trying to deflect.
Yeah, yeah.
I could imagine you just like.
I don't think I'd
you
suit it, to be
got a lot of
honest.
fingers in pie.
I've got-
You got a
do you
lot
know
of you got good connections.
I'd have enough contacts.
Yes, you do.
I wouldn't be like calling people. I don't like calling
What are your
people.
writing skills like?
Average. But ChatGPT can write these days. Like, come on.
There you
As if
go.
a journo isn't writing
Little
through
side.
ChatGPT.
The old ones aren't.
Oh, yeah, exactly. But then they're slow, not breaking the stories. I'm going to come in, break stories quickly using
On your
ChatGPT.
typewriter.
Yeah. No, I reckon being a journo would be an average job, in all honesty. Don't you reckon?
Don't know. I reckon doing an average job is like a mundane 9 to 5. I reckon being a journo would be exciting. Imagine being the person that gets the tip off.
You know
about
the guy that say he gave Carianis the tip off yesterday. He's probably from the NRL somewhere.
No,
What does he
I
get-
know how it's come. I know I
No, but
can't
what
say
does
it on
he
the show,
get
but I know
out
how it
of
came
that?
out.
Like, if I ring Brent Reed today and be like, what do I get out of that?
Well, it's gossipers. People love to gossip, don't they?
Do they get something out? Like,
Well,
the journalists pay? Like,
No. See, he asked the same thing when he
Do they
retired.
pay
The
you?
They
exact
lie
same.
about being paid.
I don't think there's money
Sorry.
working in media. I don't think there's money to
so
for
if
information.
if you become a, no, I wouldn't say rat, but like if you become a source,
Yeah.
well, they call them source. If you become a source,
Like
Do you-
Josh Mansour.
or do you just get, say you want a story out, then you can say,
Well, it's like you
So then
scratch my back.
I gave you that for, the Payne Haas thing. Can you write a story about
Yeah,
it?
pump me up when I'm off contract. You know, mention my name in rumours like.
Oh, so it was a player that gave him that.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know.
Wow.
Because the original
Charlie's onto it,
headline
actually.
was Payne Haas tells playing group he's moving. So it didn't come from the NRL, did it? So
No.
we like there's a
There's a
leak.
rat in the ranks at the Broncos.
Oh, that'll be the next story. Yeah. I reckon it'd be a pretty interesting job.
Yeah.
Imagine getting that text about Payne.
Yeah, that's
Or that
awesome.
call.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Yeah.
Can't believe you brought Reedy in.
Yeah, I know. That's almost a knock against Carry.
Yeah. Take him.
Like you got to be ruthless. You got to be
Bulldog in
ruthless.
there.
Yeah, Bulldog Richie. Yeah.
We didn't even mention Bulldog. Come on.
He's
He's not really a newsbreaker though, is he, Bulldog? He's kind of like more of a talking head.
Yeah.
You know, less of a newsbreaker. Yeah.
Charlie, I reckon this could be your go.
Mate, I'm good. But we've gibbered on long enough. Let's get out of here.
Yeah.
It's
All right. Thanks for listening, everybody. Let us know what you think is going to happen with Payne Haas. Luke Keary doesn't think the story ends. Part of me doesn't think it ends either. It's going to be huge. Thank you again for listening. Like, subscribe, do all that sort of stuff, and we'll catch you later in the week.